How you doing today? I almost said Monday. It's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. If you guys cannot tell, it is extremely cold here in Mississippi. It is extremely cold in Mississippi. It went from like almost 70 yesterday, then it rained, and it just felt like it went from like 70 or, high 60s to literally 30 overnight within hours. Wake up this morning and guess what? It's cold and windy. No, I just asked you how you were doing. Just asked you how you're doing. Yeah, it's extremely cold here. It's one of those. It's that weather where not only is it cold, but it looks dreary outside. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that. Like it ain't just cold, but the sun ain't don't even be shining. It just be like cold and dark and gloomy. It is the worst. It is that stay at home and not go anywhere kind of weather. Absolutely. You can tell Visha. I'm not sure if she's working. Visha and Daphne, or whoever else you feel led to share with those, Stephanie. Our declaration is pick yourself back up. Come on. Hey, Mrs. Edna, pick yourself back up. Pick yourself back up. I'm doing all right, trying to stay warm, Mrs. Edna. It's been an interesting morning. It's been an interesting morning. I woke up feeling a little bit low this morning. Anybody else woke up and it just felt like I'm feeling a little bit low this morning. Like I'm pushing forward. I'm obeying God. I'm trying to do the things I need to get done, but it's just like almost you start to feel a little bit defeated. Some of y'all woke up this morning feeling that way, like literally. I feel God even now, literally just feeling like even though I'm grateful, even though I'm hanging in there, God, even though I'm focusing on what I can do, you know and honestly at this point it's not even about the thing that you're believing God for. It is just the battle in itself. Like this morning, I'm gonna be real, I woke up feeling a little bit weary. I woke up feeling very defeated, feeling a little bit disappointed. And I think a lot of times why we feel so defeated is because we're not seeing the progress you know that we thought we would have seen by now. I'm gonna say that again. A lot of times, like we feel defeated because we're not seeing the progress that we feel we should be seeing right now. And honestly, it's like when you start to feel that way, like doing the things that you need to do becomes harder, it becomes more difficult. You find yourself moving at a slower pace, a slower rate than what you would typically move at, than what you're accustomed to moving at. Like it just feels like everything is a drag, like you're literally having to work yourself up to literally, hey Daphne, literally just do the things you need to get done. How many people can say, Apostle, I woke up this morning feeling a little bit low too. I woke up this morning feeling a little bit defeated too. I woke up this morning feeling a little bit tired too. Come on, feeling like I'm dragging a little bit, feeling like like hopeless in a sense. This was me today. This was me today. God says just flow. I woke up, and honestly, for the past few days, God has been waking me up at third watch. Like the alarm has not been waking me up. Capone sometimes wakes me up, but I woke up at about 4. I woke up at about 2, went back to sleep, and woke up at about 4. And then I made myself go back to sleep, right? Because I'm like, well, I'm not getting up to take any of these pups outside at 4 in the morning. Don't care what it is. It's not happening. It's not happening. They are going to have, you're going to have to hold it this morning, God. And it just seemed as if, everything around me was saying, get up and get going. And so I fed the dogs, and I knew that, this morning God wanted me to do cardio from home on my treadmill. But I just found myself feeling like I had no energy to do what I know God needed like me to do. And like I knew that certain things were just waiting, because a lot of times when you feel defeated, it's not just one area that's bothering you. How many people can attest? A lot of times when you start feeling defeated, it's so many things at once. All right. It's so many things at once. I'm going to say that again. A lot of times when you get to that point where you are feeling defeated, it's not because of one thing. It's usually like the conglomerate of several things happening at the same time, or several things, several areas that you're waiting for God to shift. And honestly, sometimes you feel defeated because you're dealing with disappointments in some of those areas. Disappointments. God, I thought you would have been moved by now. I thought the bill would have been paid by now. I thought I would be at a different place by now. And so you start to feel like, what is the use? And so doing what you need to do becomes harder and harder, like, to do. That was me, like, this morning. Like, it took me about an hour just to get on the treadmill. I was up, but it took me like an hour to get on the treadmill. Not because I didn't want to, but because I was just feeling so very defeated. So many different things just seem to be like lingering, in the background. But while I got all this other stuff lingering, like, I'm having to stay on guard in other areas to make sure that I am not blindsided. Because when you get to feeling that way, you already know, like, if one more thing happens, if I get blindsided, God, I'm not going to recover. I'm at that point where I need to see you do some things. I need the relief that can only come from you. So it's like, it's an overload of it all. And I'm gonna be real, I was feeling sorry for myself. Hey, Sabrina. I was feeling a little bit of regret for certain things. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced, God, I went through something that kind of hurt me, that disappointed me, but I really wish I hadn't gone through that. You get to wishing, God, I wish I could have seen this like a mile away. And then I wouldn't be dealing with what I'm dealing with, because you feel like whatever it is you're dealing with, it just adds to however else you have been feeling. And so I was feeling a little bit, I guess a little bit of melancholy this morning, because that's really what it is. And I'm going to be real. Melancholy is straight from the pits of hell. It's the devil. It makes you depressed. I'm going to say that again. Melancholy. Let me read y'all a definition of it, because this is what some of you guys have been experiencing. Melancholy. Somebody type that word in. Melancholy. Melancholy. It sets in when you're feeling defeated. What it is a feeling of pensive sadness, typically with no obvious cause. How many of y'all woke up feeling that way, feeling a little bit of melancholy? You don't know why you feel that way, but it's an intense sadness. It's an intense sadness that seems to come out of nowhere. But what it is spiritually is something, an emotion that the enemy tries to get us over into, especially when he knows we have been fighting battles, plural. Especially when he feels like we are worn down, especially when he knows that we don't just need God to do it in one area, but now things have piled up so much that we need to see God. It's when he does it when he feels like we're getting tired. And it's a tactic of the enemy to wipe you out. I was feeling that way this morning. Sad. Defeated. Hopeless. Feeling all of those things. And then that led to me thinking about all the things that I got to catch up on. How am I going to continue to carry out my assignment? How is this situation going to play out? How is that situation going to? I was like, it was a spiritual overload. And so after I did cardio, I ate breakfast, had a really good breakfast, by the way. got dressed, and I just laid down because sometimes when you feel that way, all you can do is just lay down. All you can do is sit on the couch in silence. Some of y'all have been there. All you can do is sit in the car for an hour when you get home. All you can do is lock yourself in the room, turn the TV off, no music going. You just sit there in silence. All you can do is sit at the park for hours at a time. Because what else do you say when you're in that place of feeling so down? There are no words to describe that. And a lot of times we don't even understand why we are feeling that way, because sometimes when it hits, it's right after a day where you felt extremely hopeful. It's right after a day where you felt, like I got this, God. I'm motivated. I'm encouraged. Right? And in that place of melancholy, we start thinking of all the shoulda, woulda, couldas. In that place of melancholy, we start thinking of the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Our mind starts to fill up with so many regrets. So many negative emotions begin to flood in. And like, even as I was laying down, because, well, that was all I could do was just lay down. After I ate, after I showered and all that stuff, what else am I going to do? I'm going to lay here. That's what I'm going to do. I don't have no energy to say nothing. I don't have no energy to do none of that. I'm tired, God. I got needs that, honestly, I don't even know if I have it in me to toil the ground to get what I need. Not just to catch up, but for my today needs. I don't even know. One minute I feel like I can make it, then the next day it's like, whew, I don't know, God. It's too much. I need a break. The pressure's too intense. And so I was laying in bed rather. And I was just not under the covers or nothing, y'all. Like, just laying on top of the bed. I ain't get in the bed. Just on top of the bed. And I was thinking about one situation that I recently went through relationally, and how I was just feeling so much regret. And the Lord asked me this question: what were the positives? And I listed the positives, this is what it showed me. But then I had a but, right? But God, I really wish I would not have had to deal with that. You could have showed me that a different way. And then I got cold. I ain't had no socks on, y'all. I'm a sock wearer. I will sleep in socks unless I get hot. I'm one of those. I will sleep in socks. I need them covered. Because your feet get cold, the rest of your body get cold. So I'm fully clothed, no socks on. And I start to get cold. I promise y'all I'm going somewhere. My feet start to get cold. So I'm like, now I gotta get up out this bed. I'm trying to just lay here in silence. Lay here with my thoughts. That's been some of y'all. I'm just trying to lay here with this feeling. That's it. I don't have no energy for nothing else. I'm just trying to lay here. And right when I think I'm getting comfortable, God is like, oh no, I know how to get you up. So I got up, put my socks on, and it's like from that moment I could not lay back down. And in that moment I heard God say these words to me: pick yourself back up. He said, pick yourself back up. And I knew that in that moment what God was saying was, I know you feel defeated. I know you feel defeated. I know the situations, the bills that are past due. I also know that you got concerns. God, you told me to get my hair done. How am I gonna get my hair done? Because so I got this hat on. How am I gonna pay my car note? I knew that in that moment he was saying, I know it's overwhelming you. I know the weight is overwhelming you. I know you're tired of feeling like you have to always be looking for whether or not the enemy is going to blindside you with things. But step out of how you feel for a moment so that you can keep going. And I believe that that's a right now word for some of y'all. You sat with that spirit of melancholy all week for some of y'all, all month, and the month just started. But some of y'all, you've been sad. You've allowed yourself to sit in that sadness. But the thing about it is, sadness don't bring the breakthrough. Sadness does not yield the miracle. Sadness doesn't make the wait any better. It makes it, 10 times worse. And honestly, God began to deal with my heart about how selfish I was being. And I knew that what he was saying is, I know how you feel. I know what you're going through. But how selfish of it is it? How selfish is it of you to want to sit in this place knowing the assignment on your life, knowing the promises I have promised you? How selfish of a person can you really be? To want to say, God, forget everything else, forget everybody else. Let me just soak in how I feel. But the world does that. People do that. Even people in the body of Christ, they will shut everything and they will pretty much say, forget everybody. This is what I'm going through. And then some people will even take that selfishness to God. Forget what you're telling me to do, God. I need this. I need that. Not even realize that they have stepped into the trap of the enemy. Pick yourself back up. God says I need to say that again. Pick yourself back up. Get up. Pick yourself back up. For some of y'all, it's almost midday. And you've wasted half of your day sitting in that sadness. You've wasted half of your day thinking about shoulda, woulda, couldas. You've wasted half of your day feeling depressed when you could have been feeling joy. Feeling anxious when you could have been at peace. You've wasted half of your day focusing on something that you cannot control. Something that only God can do. You have wasted half of your day doing that. Pick yourself back up. It's just a reminder that you have no choice but to keep going. It's just a reminder that you have no choice but to keep going. I need somebody to say that. This is just a reminder that I have no choice but to keep going. Yeah, emotions are meant for us to feel, but they're not meant for us to stay stuck in them. They're not meant. And honestly, when's the last time that you moping ever got you a breakthrough? When's the last time that depression ever gave you the strength that you needed to get to your finish line? When's the last time? Think about it. For many of us, we know, like, listen, you sit in that long enough, you're literally gonna have to call somebody that knows how to pray, that can deliver you from that spirit of depression, from that spirit, come on, of anxiety, from that spirit of melancholy. God is simply saying, man, we have a choice. We have a choice. Come on, somebody say, I have a choice. I have a choice. And I'm gonna be real. There have been moments where I'm like, God, I understand my assignment. With my assignment, you have to allow me to experience some of these things to like be able to pull other people out. But there have been some moments recently where I'm like, God, I would rather not. I would rather not deal with that. I would rather not have to go through that. I would rather not have to have that emotion. And that was why God told me I was being selfish, because I would rather not go through it moment. Don't care about nothing. I would rather not do it, God. Do you hear me? I would rather for life to be easier. Would rather not. And he got me on together. And it's pretty much said, you would say, screw your assignment for what you feel would be an easier life. And honestly, in saying screw my assignment, it's pretty much me saying, screw you, God. Screw you. Talk about perspective. Talk about perspective. Pick yourself back up. And that's the broadcast. That's the broadcast. That is the broadcast. Pick yourself back up. Can I just get y'all to just tell your neighbor, pick yourself back up. Step out of it. Don't waste not another second in that place, in that pit. And the thing with that spirit of melancholy is, it's not a pit that the enemy even has to put us in. It's a pit that we willingly put ourselves in. We willingly sit there in that. We willingly sit in that. Willingly. We don't have to be forced. We willingly. Because what happens is you look around at your life and all you see is reasons why you should sit in that. Reasons why. Pick yourself back up. Pick yourself back up. Pick yourself back up. So listen, that's the broadcast, man. There are some of you guys that need to sow seed into this word. There are some of y'all that need to tithe. The seed title for this broadcast is Pick Yourself Back Up. Pick yourself back up. And it's kind of like when we don't obey God. I don't know why I feel led to say this. Like, I want y'all to like really think about it. What if I never, ever answered the call of God? What if I never allowed myself to be transparent? Just imagine it. What if when I was going through and God say, hey, get on there. What if I never did what he said do? Some of y'all would still be in the pit. I would sometimes still be in the pit because of my lack of obedience. My faith sometimes would not be replenished the same way for some of you guys. I'm pointing that out because when you choose to like openly not do what God is putting in your heart or what God has told you, it affects the faith of other believers. And honestly, I've been telling God since last night, like, God, I fear you. I'm too scared not to do what you tell me to do. Because I understand that when I sit before you, when it's my time, I don't want to have to depart from you. I don't want to have to, even face that. I want when my time comes for you to say, come on, enter in. Not depart from me. I don't want to be reminded of all the moments where I disobeyed. No, God. No. Please show me, Lord, that I did the right thing. So that's it, man. That's the broadcast. The funds are literally going to go towards like household items that I need, like soap and liquid for my dishwasher. That is where the funds are going today. Just for like soap, like bath soap, bar soap, and dishwasher liquid. So that is it, y'all. That is it. Love y'all. I am rooting for you. And so until next time, y'all. Hey, Capone. Come here. Come here. Come here. Thank you so much. And that's just me being transparent about where the funds are going. And I plan to do exactly what I told y'all I'm going to do with it. Exactly what I told God I'm going to do with it. And so that's it. I love y'all. I'm rooting for you. Again, if you know you need to sow, label this your pick yourself back up seed. I don't have an amount. You sow what you feel led to sow, whether it's 20, whether it's 30, whether it's 100, whether it's 200, whether it's 400, whether it's 5, whether it's $1. You let God lead. Come here, Bella. Back up. Back up. Get this funky toy off of me. Get it off of me. And so that's it, y'all. Come here, move. Come here. And so that is it. I love y'all. I'm rooting for y'all. And so until next time, peace. Bella, move.